Hi guys, welcome back to Rock Fabulous 40s, and today I have a haul for you guys. I have a little bit of drugstore, I have a little bit of high-end. I'm going to start with the drugstore. Now, some of this stuff I have used for quite a while and have formed an opinion. Some of the stuff I haven't gotten enough use out of and need to use more before I form an opinion. And some of the stuff I really haven't tried at all. Actually, wait, I don't have anything here that I haven't tried. So, alright, so let me back up. Some of the stuff I have an opinion because I've used a lot. Some of the stuff I've used a little and haven't formed an opinion yet. So we're going to start with drugstore. I was in my local Walmart not too long ago and ran into a bunch of new Wet n Wild products, and I picked up two of the eyeshadow palettes. VI Purple is this one, and this one is called My Glamour Squad. Okay, and the VI Purple really caught my eye because I love purples. Purple shadows are some of my favorite shades ever. So this is what the VI Purple looks like. I've not had a whole lot of time to really play around with this. I have swatched it. I've worn it maybe once, so I really haven't formed a complete opinion on this palette yet, but I love how these Wet n Wild palettes have a mixture of both shimmer and matte, so you can typically get a full look out of one of these palettes. And I believe these palettes are only $4.99. So here's some swatches of, hopefully you guys can see them here. Okay, so here's some swatches of the shades in this palette. Very, very purple leaning. The shimmers are beautiful. We've got some dark, deep plums right here. This is kind of a dark, deep brownish plum right there. And these shimmer shades over here are just gorgeous as well. So that's the first one. The second eyeshadow palette I picked up was also $4.99. It's called My Glamour Squad. And I picked this up because when I saw it in the store, it reminded me so much of one of my all-time favorite palettes. Let me show you guys. I have the Soft Glam palette right here, which is one of my all-time favorites. So do you guys notice like any similarities here between these two palettes? Quite a few. There are, I mean, several similarities here, which is the whole reason why I picked up the Wet n Wild palette. I will be putting up a video that will be one eye Anastasia, one eye Wet n Wild, so you guys can actually see if you can tell a difference when applied to the eyes. Okay, from Wet n Wild, I also picked up a new highlighter. This one is, trying to remember the color of this one. I think it's called Bloom Time. And it's kind of a peachy pink kind of a highlight. I love how it's got like the little flower. I believe it's called Bloom Time. If it's a different name, I'll leave a little blurb down below. And normally Wet n Wild highlighters normally give you a big pop of highlight, a big pop of shine on the skin. But this one is very, I mean, yeah, you can see it shiny. This one I think is just a little bit more subdued than the other Wet n Wild highlights. So like I can wear this and blend it in across the tops of my cheekbones, and it is not too blinding. It looks like a really nice highlight, but it doesn't look too over the top, so I don't feel weird like wearing it during the daytime going to work. So it's actually, I really do enjoy this highlight. So it's a really, really pretty highlight. And again, Wet n Wild, so very, very affordable. I also picked up a Wet n Wild bronzer. Now, I am, by the way, this color, what shade is this? This is called Take It to Brazil. And when it comes to bronzers, I'm extremely picky because I don't wear bronzers a lot. And the bronzers I do wear are like the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzers. Those are my favorites. But this, I actually really like it. This is not a flat matte bronzer. This does have a bit of a, not a shine, but it's kind of satiny at the same, it's not really shiny, but it's kind of satiny. And I use this, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it really well. I kind of use this as an all-over bronzer. Of course, I don't contour with it. It does have, like I said, a satiny finish, so blended in on the skin, it makes the skin look very, very nice. My skin never looks dry or cakey with this on, so it gives my skin a beautiful glow, again, without it being shiny and over the top. So I really do enjoy this bronzer. So one of the other things I picked up from Wet n Wild is one of their sprays. So I did pick up the Photo Focus 3-in-1 Primer Water in the scent Cucumber. Now, I've used this as much as I can possibly use it. And what I mean by that, and there's still a lot in here, I can't stand that cucumber smell, and normally I love like the cucumber smells. Like I have the Mario Badescu cucumber facial spray that just smells amazing to me, but this just has a really weird after smell. You know, kind of like an aftertaste, kind of like, you know, when you taste something and at first it tastes really, really good, and then you get that kind of, ew, kind of grossing kind of aftertaste. That's kind of what this is. At first, when you first spray it, it's like, yeah, that smells kind of good, but then all of a sudden you're like, oh, yeah, that smells like chemical and smells, I just really don't like the smell of this. So I think, I mean, honestly, I don't feel that it holds on to my makeup any more than, I don't know, than my Mario Badescu. I think it does as good a job as like my Mario Badescu facial spray does, which is not meant to be a setting spray, but it does kind of calm down like any powdery look I might have on my skin. I mean, it does a really good job at that, but I just can't stand the smell, so I will not be using this. I'm probably going to go ahead and just declutter this after this video and give it to somebody who might enjoy it more than I do. Alright, moving on. Now I did pick up some stuff also from Covergirl. I picked up a couple of blushes. And these are the Covergirl Instant Cheekbone blushes right here. And I picked up the colors, I gotta look at the colors because I don't remember, Sophisticated Sable and Peach Perfection, these two guys right here. And these are trios. So you get, this is the Sophisticated Sable. So you get a darker shade of blush, you get kind of a shimmery shade of blush, and then you get a highlighter. And I like these blushes. I started using these because there's another YouTuber that I watch that just keeps talking about these over and over and over and over, and she loves them. So I decided on her recommendation to go pick them up, and you know what? I love them too. What I'll do is I will swirl the brush into all of the colors. So I'm picking up a little bit of the dark, a little bit of the shimmer, a little bit of the highlight, and I just put that, you know, all over my cheeks as a blush, and I think it just comes out beautifully. Beautifully, beautifully. And you know, these are fairly inexpensive. They're only, if I remember correctly, I think these were only like $5 and change, maybe $6. Not that expensive at all. It's hard to see that highlight, but it's right there. It is a very natural highlight, and you can use just the highlight on the tops of your cheekbones if you want. But I mean, these are just beautiful, beautiful blushes. So, you know, I'm really, really happy with these, you know, Covergirl Instant Cheekbone blushes. And I saw a few more colors there that I might actually go back and get because I really do like how these look on my skin. Okay, I also picked up something from Makeup Revolution. This is the Makeup Revolution Jelly Highlighter. And this is in the color Prestigious, I believe it's called. Now, the jelly highlighters, the jelly eyeshadows, the jelly everythings have just kind of been all the rage lately. And I really haven't jumped on that bandwagon until I picked this up. And this is really the only jelly kind of highlighter that I have. And I picked it up, and it is jelly, as you can see. It's not exactly, you know, falling down on me here, but as you can see, it's very, like, mushy, mushy jelly-like. But the highlight that this gives off, holy smokes, you guys. Do you look at that? Do you see that? Look at that highlight. It is beautiful. And it's kind of a champagne-y shade, so I use just a very minimal amount, and I'll put it just right here on the tops of my cheekbones, down the bridge of my nose, and just blend it in really, really well. And once you get it blended in really, really well, yes, it gives you that, you know, shining to the stars kind of highlight, but at the same time doesn't look like it's a stripe of makeup on your face, if that makes sense. It doesn't look like you have a stripe of highlight. It's one of the things I hate is when, you know, you get to be about my age, which is my late 40s, and you go and you put highlight on, you try to blend it in, and then all of a sudden you have this stripe right here, and it's making every single pore on your face stand out. This doesn't do that. This is an absolutely beautiful highlight. So what I'll do is I'll just kind of dip my finger in a little bit, and I'll just kind of pat it on the tops of my cheekbones with my fingers to place it where I want it. And then I take a damp beauty sponge and then just kind of press it and blend it in the rest of the way, and it just comes out beautiful. So I absolutely love this. And again, it was the Makeup Revolution Jelly Highlighter, and this is the shade Prestigious. Alright, I did pick up a Morphe palette. This is my very, very first ever Morphe palette, and this caught my eye online. This is the So Iconic 9i palette here. This is the only Morphe palette that I've ever tried, and I've been wearing this palette all week. This is what it looks like here. And I still want to wear it a little bit more. I am actually wearing it today, and I know my makeup's kind of a mess right now. I've spent the entire day at work, so I just came home and just jumped on here and filmed. So my makeup's kind of messy, but this is what it looks like on my eyes. And it just kind of looks like just a little plain Jane palette, but then you get this little pop of blue down here, which, I mean, it's okay. I haven't really played with the blue. I need to, but if you notice, it's kind of patchy. This one right here, which is called Say Whoa, this one, I wear this one a lot, and I really, really love how this one looks on the lids. Look at that. You know, but the rest of them are just very kind of subdued type shades. Okay, there's kind of a silver with, it's got kind of a pinky gold shift to it. Okay, the rest of them are just kind of, you know, they're just normal everyday looking shades. So I've pretty much worn all of them except for the blue, the black, and the gray. I still want to do some more playing around with this. One of the things I will tell you right off the bat is I don't notice it skipping across my lids, which is nice with my crepey lids. So that's really good. But I do find it has to really be built up. But yeah, I'll do a more in-depth review with some demos on this palette later on, because I want to play with it just a bit more. Okay, let's move on to some primers. So I've got 3 new primers, and I've tried 2 of them. So the first one I'm going to talk about is the Maybelline Master Blur Stick, and this is the tinted one. It's in light medium, and this is a tinted primer, and it's supposed to blur your pores and fine lines and things like that, and it's very, very silky feeling when you spread it out. You guys can see the little bit of color it's giving off here. And it does really mask my pores. So I have it on, when I wear it under my foundation, my pores really are blurred, okay? But I don't like this. And the reason why I don't like it is because I feel like after I do apply my foundation, like if I put this right here, because this is where my pores stand out. If I put this all right here and then I put my foundation on, sure, my pores are blurred, but I also look like I'm a little cakey right here, just cakey and just dry looking right through here, and I just really don't like that. I don't like to feel or look like my skin is dry under my makeup. So I'm not a big fan, so I'm probably not going to use this anymore. I also tried the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer, and this is like all the rage right now. Everybody's trying to get their hands on this. It's always sold out. I found mine at Walmart, of all places, and I have used, see, I've dug my finger in there quite a bit. You don't need much. You just kind of, a little tiny bit, and then I just kind of take it and I press it into my pores and my fine lines. Then I let it set for a good minute to settle into the skin, and then I put my foundation over the top. So typically what I'll do is I'll use my hydrating primer all over my skin, and then I'll take this and just press it into the pores and some of the fine lines, let it sink in, and then foundation. And I honestly, I don't have the Tatcha one to compare it to that everybody's comparing it to, but I didn't feel like this was doing much for me when I first started using it. But then I went a couple of days without actually using it and just using my regular old everyday primers that I use, and I noticed a difference when I didn't use it. So this actually really did make a very subtle difference, to the point of when you're using it you don't really notice it, but then when you're not using it you're missing using it. Okay, then another primer I haven't tried this one yet, but I have like just kind of played with it on the back of my hand. I'm dying to try it. I picked this one up. This is the Catrice Prime and Fine Freshen Up Primer. This is the Moisturizing Primer, or Aqua Fresh Hydro Primer is what it says on it. And I picked this up because I still want to find something that dupes that original Smashbox hydrating primer, the one in the blue. Now, Smashbox replaced that primer with the primerizer, which is the primer moisturizer combination thing. And don't get me wrong, I really, really do love that primer. But the Smashbox Hydrating, the blue one, was still my absolute favorite. Now, the NYX, I believe it's called Hydra Touch, which I have back here in my drawer. It's very, very close to it, but it's not an exact dupe. So I was kind of hoping that this would be. So this guy, like I said, haven't worn it on my face yet, but when you squeeze it out, it is blue, just like the Smashbox one was. And when I rub it in, it doesn't have that silicone-y slip feel. Like the NYX one has a little bit of that slip to it. This one doesn't have, when I rub it in, any of that silicone-y slip to it at all. It feels like it just rubs into the skin instantly and it just sinks in. So I'm dying to try this on my face to see how well it does with foundation, because just from rubbing it on the back of my hand, how it feels and how it looks when it comes out of the tube, it might be that Smashbox dupe that I've been looking for. Alright, foundation. I also tried out a new foundation from the drugstore, one I've never tried before. Guys, excuse my hair. Like I said, I've been at work all day and it's just kind of, it's a rainy, black, icy day out today. So I picked this up also at Walmart. This is the Flower Beauty Light Illusion Luminous Makeup. This guy right here. And this is in the color Warm Beige. This guy right here comes with the pump. I have worn this 3 or 4 times. It's getting kind of messy on my little pump here. I will do an actual review video on this. Let me rub this in here. So I'm not going to go into great detail about this foundation today, because I am going to do an actual full review. I'm still working on that whole finding that perfect foundation for me thing. So this is going to be a part of that. So guys, just wait for an upcoming video reviewing this foundation. Okay, that is it from the drugstore. Now let's get into the higher end or luxury products. I have a couple that I would consider luxury. The rest I would just consider just kind of high-endish. I had to pick up my MAC paint pot. This is in Painterly. I just got this not too long ago. Haven't put much of a dent in it yet, but I love this as an eyeshadow primer. I just recently started using this not too long ago. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember who actually turned me on to this, but I had another shade of this a long, long time ago and it was too dark. So I just picked up the Painterly one and it is absolutely perfect for my lids. And my eyeshadows adhere to it and blend on top of it beautifully. You know how sometimes you put an eyeshadow primer on, like the Urban Decay ones, which I love, or the Milani one, which I love. I put those primers on, but I have to set them with the powder usually, so my eyeshadows don't stick when I try to drag my brush across. You guys know what I'm talking about. You know, that primer's not completely dry, so you go to blend in your shadows and the shadow just kind of sticks in a spot and it's hard to blend. So I always set my primers with the powder. I don't have to do that with the paint pot. The paint pot is so silky on the lids that the shadows just blend seamlessly right on top, and I find I get a lot less skips in a lot of my more affordable palettes when I use this. Alright, I did pick up an eyeshadow palette. I've been playing around with this for quite some time. This is the Lorac Pro 4, and the Lorac Pro eyeshadows used to get talked about all the time, and I have all the old Lorac Pro shadows. I've got the Lorac Pro 1, Lorac Pro 2, Lorac Pro 3. I've got the Mega Pros because the Lorac Pro eyeshadow formula is one of my favorite formulas. But I don't hear a lot of people talking about them anymore because there's other palettes came out that people just seem to like better. But look at this color story. This is the same formula as the old Lorac Pro shadows, the old, I don't want to say old, but as all the other Lorac Pro palettes. This is the same beautiful formula, but look at these shades. There's berries in here, there's a couple of champagnes, there's some neutrals. I mean, this is just a beautiful, beautiful palette. And you can see I've put several dents in these because I love them so much. Let's swatch a couple of these shimmery guys here. I'm not going to swatch all of them because that would probably take a while to do, but whew, look at that. at that. I mean, look at that color payoff, guys. I mean, seriously, how could you not love that? There's some beautiful, beautiful shadows. Let me do a couple of the mattes for you. These are so soft, so creamy, so buttery feeling. I mean, it's amazing to me how good Lorac Pro shadows are, and nobody's talking about them anymore. Are they just old news? I mean, seriously, are they just old news? Because I love them. I still love them. Anyway, so this Lorac Pro 4 shadow palette has been out probably, when did I get it? October or November maybe is when I got it. So it's been out probably a good 6 months or so, and I've never heard anybody talk about it. However, I will be doing some looks coming up with it soon, so just keep an eye out for that, because there's just something about this palette that I'm just absolutely in love with. Alright, then I also picked up something for my hair. This is the Paul Mitchell, the Apulian Wild Ginger Styling Treatment Oil. This guy right here has a pump, and typically what I do with this is, while my hair is still wet after I have shampooed, I'll put about 3 full pumps in my hand, rub it in, and then put it all over the ends of my hair. And it has really been helping my hair to feel a lot softer and to look shinier. It's been making the texture of my hair feel so much better and not so dry and crispy like it has been lately. So this has really, really been helping. So again, this is the Paul Mitchell Apulian Wild Ginger Styling Treatment Oil. I also have the shampoo and the Keratin Repair Conditioner, which I also love from this line. Okay, so let's move on to what I've been using as a highlight, my high-end highlight that I've been using for about the past month now, I guess it's been. And this is the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. This guy right here. If you are, again, in my age range or even older, and again, like I said, I am in my late 40s, this is a beautiful highlight. This is not shining to the heavens highlight. This is natural, glowing within, and not a powdery, cakey streak of highlight on your skin. Now this does have a doe foot applicator, and I'm not gonna lie, guys, this is not cheap. This is a luxury brand, but oh my god, this is so, so worth it. This can be mixed into your foundation, or you can just use it as just a highlight on the tops of your cheekbones, which is how I use it. I apply it right here, and it is just, it's so hard to explain the look you get from this. You look at it as you're, smoothing it out, and you're like, yeah, that's not so highlighty. It's just not shiny. It's not bam, blingy, highlighty. It's not. It is a very subtle highlight, but when it is applied to the skin, it just does something that just makes your skin look so natural and so flawlessly lit from within that it is just absolutely beautiful. Beautiful. So a lot of my other highlights that I used to use kind of get shoved out of the way, and I wear this more and more. And as like wearing this during the day is the perfect daytime highlight. It is the perfect going out nighttime highlight. I mean, I absolutely love, love, love this. I can't say enough how much I love this. Okay, and then what I have been wearing on my lips throughout this video is the Marc Jacobs Enamored lip gloss, in the shade is Allow Me, and I love these lip glosses. They're not too thick, not too sticky, but they are thick enough that they actually stay put on the lips, and they do last quite a while. I just feel like these lip glosses are just beautiful, and if you have any of those lines in your lips, as you get older, your lines start to show a little bit more, your lips start to thin out a little bit. This, it masks those lines, and it doesn't make them completely disappear, but it makes them so much less noticeable, as well as it also makes your lips look really juicy, and I really like that. So I'm going to go buy some more shades of this because I really, really love this formula. So again, this is the Marc Jacobs Enamored lip gloss, and again, this one is in the shade Allow Me. So I love these. Is it upside down? No, it's not upside down. I just absolutely love these. All right, let's move on to some skincare. All right, so for the past 2 weeks, I've been using new skincare, and those of you who have followed me for quite some time know that I use, my Checks and Balances facial cleanser, then I use my, Clinique serums, I use my Clinique moisturizer, I use my Clinique eye cream. You know what, guys? I'm done. I wanted to try some new stuff, and one of the things that kind of is swaying me away from the Clinique skincare right now is they have a treatment oil, which I absolutely love, love, love this treatment oil. It's called the Custom Smart or the Clinique Smart Treatment Oil. And I would just put a little bit of that into my serum and just kind of put it all over the skin before my moisturizer. Well, I went to go buy some more because I was running out, and they're not making it anymore. I can't find it anywhere. And I even went on Clinique's website, and it wasn't even on their website anymore. So I'm guessing they're discontinuing it. So because of that, I started going towards another line of skincare. Now I'm still using my Origins Checks and Balances facial cleanser. That will probably never change. Love it. But I tested out a little sample of the IT Cosmetics Confidence in a Cream and really liked it. So I went back and I bought the IT Cosmetics Confidence in a Cream Rosy Tone. This guy right here. I've been using it for about 2 weeks. I've got a pretty decent dent in there. And so far, for the past 2 weeks that I've been using this, I love it. It does have a very strong, not strong, I'm not going to say it's strong, but it does have a distinct rosy scent to it. It does not leave your skin looking rosy, okay? It doesn't leave color on the skin, but it does leave a nice moisturized glow. It is a very thick cream, but I've had no issues with it at all. Clogging up pores or making me break out. That's always been a real big fear of mine, is that thick moisturizers would cause me to break out. Well, I've been using this now for 2 weeks and haven't gotten a single breakout from it. And yeah, it does smell like roses, and some people might be off-put by that, but I really like it, and I really love how this goes on the skin and how it feels throughout the day. I love how my makeup goes on top of it. It's just so smooth and silky. I absolutely love this stuff. And IT Cosmetics also has some really good ingredients in it as well. So, I mean, really, really good stuff. So on that same note, I decided to try the IT Cosmetics Confidence in an Eye Cream, this guy right here. And I gotta tell you, I'm liking this too. This feels very, very moisturizing and hydrating under my eyes. Again, I love how makeup goes on top of it. And the moisture I can feel under my eyes all day. It's like a lot of eye creams I use, they sink in. And then a couple hours later, I feel like I'm dehydrated under there. Well, this I don't. I feel like I'm moisturized under my eyes all day long. And my makeup looks good under there all day long. So I'm so far really, really liking these. But again, I've only been using them for 2 weeks. So I'm going to use up the jars, and then I will come back and I will update you guys. So like I said earlier, I started switching some of my skincare from Clinique to another brand because they were doing away with my favorite facial oil. So I went online to find some new facial oil, and I found one. Now, again, this is not a cheap facial oil. The full size of this is $70, but I haven't tried it yet, so I can't tell you if I like it, but this is the Sunday Riley Juno Antioxidant Superfood Face Oil, this guy right here. I haven't tried it yet. I'm still finishing up the rest of my Clinique, but I am excited to try this to see what it's going to do to my skin. Look at this packaging. They do just the cutest packaging. Now, this is not the full size. This is like the little size of it, and the little size of it is still pretty decently sized. This is, how much is in here? This is 0.5 fluid ounces of oil. This was $35, I believe. So it's still not cheap at all, but I got the smaller size because I don't want to spend the $70 until I know if this is going to break me out, or, if it's going to be good for my skin. But if I find that this works for me and it's good for my skin, I will spend the $70 to get the full-sized one. So I'm excited to try this guy out, and plus the fact it's so pretty. So pretty. And I have seen some really good reviews on the Sunday Riley Juno oil, so I'm excited to give that a go. Alright guys, so that is my haul, and like I said, a lot of this stuff I will come back and update you guys on. I'm going to do a full video on the Light Illusion foundation. I'm going to do a comparison eye to eye to the Soft Glam from Anastasia versus the Wet n Wild My Glamour Squad. I'm going to come back and do a few looks for you guys with the Lorac Pro 4 as well. So stay tuned for those videos. I hope you guys enjoyed this or found it interesting. If you did, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. Also guys, remember underneath me, somewhere under there, is a subscribe button, and if you hit that button, you too can rock your fabulous 40s, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.